When things happen out of nowhere or by surprise, you appreciate it. You appreciate it. You go, all right, this is good. I didn't see this coming. Well, Isaiah Swerve Scott becoming the new North American champion is something that I just did not expect. At least not right now. I knew that it would happen eventually, but right now I didn't see it happening. Kind of opens up a variety of things that are possible for the future. A variety of possibilities for both these superstars. We're not going to waste any time. This is NXT's Within the Ropes review, and I am the host. You know who I am. BRIANTRONIC. Official Queen City Stan. But let's get into it, man. Capital Wrestling Center was on fire most of the night. The beginning of the night started off the women's number one contenders triple threat tag team match to see who's going to go to Great American Bash to take on The Way. We saw Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez go up against Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. Shout out to Shotzi. And Io Shirai and Zoey Stark. Now, I don't really know. I don't really know who I wanted to win this match. Dakota Kai and Raquel. I would say, considering Raquel's the NXT Women's Champion, all right, I'd be cool if they won. But then Ember and Shotzi, I like them as a tag team. Would have been nice to see them win. But kind of was expecting it, considering she just came back. Io Shirai and Zoey Stark were able to pull out the win. It was at one point where Shotzi had took a dive through the ropes. It took everyone out. Ember Moon goes up to the top turnbuckle. She dives, knocks everyone down. Zoey Stark goes up to the top turnbuckle and she dives and takes everyone out. And the entire CWC was roaring. Like, I don't know if that's them with a combination of piped in crowd noise or whatnot, but I think by now I'm able to tell the difference. And they were on fire. And it made the match and the moment that much more enjoyable, for me at least. It was crazy. But they were going all at it. It was at one point, Raquel Gonzalez hit a couple of power bombs to take out everyone who was going after Dakota Kai. Everybody's, pushing each other. Everyone's fighting. It was like move after move, super kicks, roundhouse kicks, elbows, driving knees. It was pretty much everything in this match. At one point, Shirai goes for the moonsault. And like I said, Raquel Gonzalez takes everybody out. Protect Dakota Kai. And then Zoey, Ember, Dakota, everybody exchange moves back and forth to the point where it kind of leaves Io Shirai wide open to hit her signature moonsault off the top rope. She pins Dakota Kai, gets the 1, 2, 3, and now Io Shirai and Zoey Stark are the new number one contenders and will be challenging for the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions at the Great American Bash. So this is cool. I like it. Io Shirai, of course, but now we have to wonder: are they going to be able to coexist? I would have to I would have to assume or think that maybe, either Zoe Stark will turn on Io, maybe towards the end of the match, or, something happening. I think it's too early to take the titles off the way. I'll give him a little bit more. And in fact, I wouldn't take the titles off the way until you get a takeover where you're back in one of these arenas and fans are back. I feel like the women's tag team division needs to establish a little more in NXT. And then you have a big title swap in front of fans, like a lot of fans. That's my opinion. They go to a backstage segment with Karrion Kross and Scarlett arriving at the arena, and then Johnny Gargano just hits Karrion Kross with an ambush right away. It was quick. It was a little in and out. Security break it up nonetheless, and I was surprised and I was kind of happy because I was like, "Yo, are we gonna get babyface Johnny Gargano? Like, is this the moment? Is this the time?" But only time will tell. They announced that the breakout tournament, the NXT breakout tournament, is coming back in 2 weeks. So that's exciting. We're going to see a lot of, new names, new signees, people who have been at the Performance Center working their ass off. I'm sure there's going to be some, if you watch 205 Live, you're going to see whatever's left of 205 Live. They're probably going to be a part of it. So we'll see. We'll see. Karrion Kross and Scarlett head to the ring. But before that, I want to talk about the backstage segment with Bronson Reed that got interrupted by Hit Row, which kind of made our main event last night. It was Bronson Reed getting interviewed and then Hit Row interrupting. It was Isaiah Swerve Scott basically challenging him to a championship match. And, of course, Bronson Reed, being who he is, he's like, I accept. Let's do it. Not wasting any time. So that's how we got our main event last night. Karrion Kross and Scarlett, though, head to the ring, calls out Johnny Gargano. He said, I get it. He said, I got you last week. You got me this week. Gargano comes out, begins to talk crap about Kross, telling him that he's not that good in the ring, basically kind of the same stuff that Adam Cole was saying to him. And then Austin Theory would attack Kross from behind. Gargano and Kross begin a brawl, of course, because Kross took care of business with Austin Theory. Kross started bashing Gargano's head into the plexiglass with the cage behind it. Started bashing and bashing and bashing. Then he gets to a point where he's, laid out, and Kross picks up the steel steps and thinking about slamming it on Gargano's head. But then security comes out to stop him. Joe's out there. Gargano gets up while security's apprehending Kross, hits him with a super kick. Boom. Crashes down him and all of the security. Gargano kind of skips away in a gotcha kind of moment. So that was cool. But then as Joe makes his way down the ramp, Karrion Kross gets in Samoa Joe's face and goes, "You're doing a really good job, Joe." And then just walks off. Again, I love any altercation with Samoa Joe involving anybody else. So I'm not mad at it. I like to see more. We get a little vignette or package showing the battery, the charging battery. I thought that had something to do with Diamond Mine, but apparently it does not. So I'm curious to see and to know what that is. We finally get a I guess I wouldn't say debut, but an in-ring return for Roderick Strong, accompanied by Malcolm Bivens, Tyler Russ, and Hideki Suzuki, versus Asher Hale. And this match was interesting. I mean, nothing short of what we're all used to coming from Roderick Strong. Sizing each other up. Strong takes him out quick. Hale goes for the ankle lock. Strong basically reverses it. Roderick Strong being extremely aggressive in this match. A few heavy chops. He hooks the arms, slams him down. Strong puts him in a submission. He taps out. And end of the match. There it is. I mean, like I said, it wasn't anything that we haven't seen from Roderick Strong before. We all know how Roderick Strong gets down. After the match, Malcolm Bivens says that the Diamond Mine is open for business, whatever that means. I like it, though. Roderick picks up the W. Cameron Grimes had a match with Ari Sterling, which was a really good match. Ari Sterling is a familiar face from 205 Live. I don't know if you guys watch 205 Live, but he is definitely a familiar face to me. Really, really good match. Sterling goes for a moonsault splash. Grimes will move out of the way. He counters it with the cave-in and picks up the victory. LA Knight, after the match, would come down and tell Grimes what he thinks about him. And basically challenges him to a match for the championship, the $1 Million Championship at the Great American Bash. Now, again, I think these two guys were bound to run it back, right? I just didn't know that the title was going to be involved. Now, I need to know, is this championship going to be an actual championship in NXT? Or is this just going to be kind of like a thing between these guys? I don't know. But I'm curious to see going forward. LA Knight would then go on to say that if he beats Cameron Grimes, that he'll have to become LA Knight's butler. If Grimes wins, then of course he'll become the $1 Million Champion. This is interesting to me. So now you've added a stipulation to where I don't really know what's going to happen. Is Grimes going to lose to become his butler, or is LA Knight going to lose the $1 Million Championship? I don't know. We'll have to see. I want to say that we'll probably see some type of involvement from the $1 Million Man this time around. I don't know. Who knows? But like I said, Cameron Grimes picked up the victory over Ari Sterling. Ari Sterling's great, man. Hope he gets a spot on NXT or in the breakout tournament or whatever, because I like him. We get a promo segment backstage with the Way confronting Io Shirai and Zoey Stark. Like only the Way can, right? So that was interesting. They pulled can you guys be on the same page? Yada, yada, yada. So we'll see at the Great American Bash next week. Kyle O'Reilly heads to the ring and he tells Adam Cole to come out. Cole doesn't come out, but then he interrupts Kyle O'Reilly right away. They're going back and forth. It's kind of the same stuff that they had in their first match, the non-sanctioned or whatever. It was kind of all the same stuff. Samoa Joe comes out there. He gets in the ring and tell both men to carry on. He's like, I'm just here just to, make sure nothing goes down. Cole tells Kyle O'Reilly he's obsessed with him and that he's been carrying O'Reilly since the Undisputed Era began. And everyone knows it, he says. And he says whether Samoa Joe wants to admit it or not, Samoa Joe knows it. And he says, Hale, even your wife knows it. That is when Kyle O'Reilly basically lost it. He's like, don't talk about my wife. And then they get each other's face. They're hitting each other, like they're headbutting each other back and forth. Cole takes a swing at O'Reilly. O'Reilly ducks. Samoa Joe kind of ducks. He kind of gets almost involved or wrapped up in the situation. O'Reilly ends up taking him down, put him in a submission lock. Adam Cole begins to tell Samoa Joe, like, get him off me, get him off me, get him off me. Samoa Joe just kind of looks, and looks around and he leaves the ring. He's walking up the ramp and he stops. He looks back and then he signals for security to come and break up the submission hold. And I thought that was cool. Again, we're teasing Joe. Look, man, you disrespect Joe. Joe is going to be like, whatever, Joe honestly felt like he deserved it, but it's kind of weird, right? Considering that Joe has used other people's wives plenty of times. And we know, one of the recent ones with AJ Styles, we've seen this before from Joe. So Joe probably understands how, much, someone who involves someone's family member, wife, kid, whatever, when you get dealt with, you kind of got it coming to you. So I don't know. It was cool. Again, I have no issue with Joe getting involved with anybody, whether it be a physical or verbal confrontation. He's the muscle. He's the authority figure now alongside William Regal. The next match we got is Boa and Xia Li versus Jake Atlas and Mercedes Martinez. This match was good, but it ended up ending in a referee stoppage due to Xia Li legitimately taking out Mercedes Martinez with a roundhouse kick. When I initially seen it, I was like, oh, that sell was beautiful. But then Mercedes kicked out. And I was like, oh, that's not a kick out. That wasn't supposed to happen. That's not good. It looked like Mercedes was trying to, reach for a tag to kind of get herself out of there. I don't know. I hope she is okay, though. It's pretty scary. And I think we know now how dangerous Xia Li's kicks are. I don't think this is the first time that she's taken someone out with those kicks. Man. Got to be careful out there. I'm not going to sit here and say that, Xia Li is, it's her fault or, anything like that. I mean, it was an honest, accident, mistake, or whatever you want to call it. So, yeah. Pretty scary. Referee stoppage. No winner here. I'm sure we'll get this figured out or straightened out as soon as Mercedes Martinez can go. I would like to see Jake Atlas seek revenge for his friend and maybe have a one-on-one match with Boa. So, keep the story going. That would be nice. But we'll see what happens. Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher have a face-off against MSK, in which I thought this match was going to happen last night, but it ended up not happening, and I assume they're saving it for the Great American Bash. Cool, no problem. I don't have an issue with that. Yeah, I mean they sat down in chairs, they had a talk. Ciampa says that next week they're going to win and that MSK is entering the match as underdogs. Ciampa says Thatcher is ready because he's never won gold in NXT. And Ciampa knows, Ciampa says nobody elevates titles like he does. MSK says that they're tired of not getting respect and respecting what Ciampa and Thatcher have done. Nash Carter says that Thatcher and Ciampa did not hear them. Carter then slaps Ciampa. Ciampa says that was a free one. Next week, they'll be taking those titles. So that was cool. We come back from a commercial break, and then again, we got shenanigans with Cross and Scarlett going to their vehicle to leave. But then getting attacked by Austin Theory and Johnny Gargano. Karrion Kross gets up after getting the door slammed on him multiple times. And then he crept up, took out Gargano with a sleeper hold. And then he takes out Austin Theory with a nice punch. And so, look, man, if we're gonna get a babyface Gargano and Austin Theory even, because I'm realizing that they're involving Austin Theory in this. Or maybe not. Maybe we won't get a babyface Gargano in this situation. I don't know, man. I'm not too sure. Only time will tell, though. Like I said, North American Championship match time, main event: Isaiah Swerve Scott with Hit Row versus Bronson Reed. The match begins with a tie-up. Reed pushes Isaiah Swerve Scott. Super typical, right? Scott's back up, slaps Reed in the back of the head. Reed starts toying around with Isaiah Swerve Scott, puts him in a headlock, won't let him go. Isaiah finally gets out of it. However, Reed hits him with a big shoulder tackle to knock him down. Now, again, it's typical, but I love this showing of Bronson Reed using his size, using his strength to kind of toy with his opponents and take him out. But then again, with someone like Isaiah Swerve Scott, who's got, quickness, the agility, and also the power to be able to break a big guy like Bronson Reed down. I wouldn't underestimate. I would, in this match particular, like to see Bronson Reed, the champion, not toy around, to go at him, to take him out, take him serious, right? Bronson Reed with multiple shots to the head on Isaiah Scott. Referees distracted by the three members of Hit Row. Top Dollar runs at Reed, but misses and goes straight through the plexiglass of the barricade, which I thought was shows that Top Dollar can get some hang time. I like that. Bronson Reed grabs Ashante, the Adonis, and throws him over the barricade as well. Isaiah Swerve Scott capitalizes on the opportunity, and he hits Reed with a drop kick. And Reed attempted to enter the ring, that spot where he's like coming through the bottom rope, and then Isaiah Swerve Scott did it wasn't like, it's like that little one-legged drop kick. He goes to the top turnbuckle and lands the 450 splash. Isaiah Swerve Scott goes for the pin, gets the 1-2-3, and your new NXT North American champion, Isaiah Swerve Scott. Now, this situation is tricky because it's like, while I'm excited for Isaiah Swerve Scott, I think it's kind of weird and it's kind of telling to what's going to happen next and what's in the future for Bronson Reed. This match was unadvertised. It was unadvertised. And the title changed hands. This is scary for Bronson Reed. I would think that this means that Bronson Reed is on his way to the main roster. Now, look, I'm not going to sit here and go as far as to say that's a bad thing or that's scary like everyone else would, because I like to give the main roster a chance always. No matter what they've done, I like to give it a little bit of chance. I like to just wait and see what happens. Or maybe they'll set up a return match. Bronson Reed will win it back. Maybe not. Maybe we'll get a return match and Bronson Reed will lose again. I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm happy for Swerve, though. Swerve's come a long way, man. He's held it down in the Cruiserweight division. Had banger matches for the North American Championship before. And it looks as though that he's leading his new group, his new stable,